Hi, I just got out of the shower and then I realised that the Miles Franklin Award the shortlist is being announced now. And since I'm reading through the books, it's probably important information. So I'm going to find out where it is, where all that's happening, and see what's going on. Oh, it's live now.
Traditionally, Aboriginal people shared our stories through engravings, dance, song, and spoken word. Originally for our families and our clans.
I think this might take a while. I gotta hear from the sponsor now. It's okay. It's okay.
Thanks for who the shortlisted authors are for the 2020 Miles Franklin Literary Award. Adam Suckley is the CEO of the Copyright Agency.
Really fantastic. With so many people.
Okay, so we need the Rain Heron, we need Sophie Laguna, we need the Labyrinth, and we need Amnesty. They're my top four. I still have plenty to read, but we need those in. Okay.
Very happy to have you all here. The moment you've been waiting for.
Okay.
The shortlisted authors for the Miles Franklin Literary Award for 2021 are. I think they'll come up there. So, Amanda Laurie.
The Labyrinth.
The Labyrinth.
Yay!
Text Publishing.
Something takes a hold of you when you're writing fiction, some image, some scene, some piece of dialogue. And one of the you're aiming to create an experience, a semi-mystical experience.
I'm so happy about that. Wonderful.
Andrew Pipos for Lucky's.
I haven't read this one yet.
Australia.
It's a huge honour to be shortlisted.
Can't wait to read it.
Aravind Adiga for Amnesty. Anne Macmillan, Australia.
Yes.
The central character is
Daniel Davis Wood for At the Edge of the Solid World.
I have that here
Rio
too.
Books.
At the Edge of the Solid World begins with the story of a man and a woman who are expatriate Australians, and they lose a newborn child very early on after just one day of life.
Can't wait to read that.
Madeline Watts
Ooh.
for The Inland Sea, Pushkin Press.
I haven't read it yet.
The book is really about emergencies, emotional.
And finally, Robbie Arnott.
Thank
for
God.
Rain Heron,
I was getting
Text
worried.
Publishing.
In high school, I went and saw all the Miles Franklin shortlistees as they travelled around the country. I saw them at the Launceston Library, where I saw Alexis Wright talk about Carpentaria. So to be on the list myself is, I can't believe it. It's incredible. I didn't know how to write about the world that's recently gone through a military coup, and a woman has fled to the mountains to escape all the violence. The world with wider eyes, and think about what we can do for the world and what the world does for us. Here, after 6 months or a year of this, I have a book, and I've lost half my mind.
Oh, I'm emotional. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Sophie Laguna is not on there, which is not as amazing. My top four didn't make it in, but let me grab the bundle. Okay, I thought I lost the Rain Heron. Oh my gosh. There is the shortlist. How exciting. I have read these three and I've got these three to go. I do want to read the others as well because I would like to form my complete opinion about what I think out of all of the books. So there's these three, and I especially want to read Song of the Crocodile. So these three that I want to read as well. So this is the shortlist. I am just so excited to have these three on there and to be able to champion the books that I love and be invested in this prize. It feels really nice. So I am going to start with these three in my next vlog. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I think I'm going to read this one, but it's a short little book and it's interesting. This is about grief and things, and that wouldn't make me super sad, so I just can't handle that right now. So we might run with this book. I hope you had as much excitement from that book prize as I just did. I'm going to continue this vlog and read this book, and we'll go from there. But it's just made my night. That was so much fun. Thanks for joining me on that shortlist excitement. Okay, I'll talk to you when I started this book and let you know my first thoughts. Hi, it's Saturday. It's one of those days. Can you see that wind in the trees? It's crazy cold outside. I look like this because my baby is not well and we were up all night with his coughing. So it's a slow day today, and we've cleared a lot of stuff out of the way to make it slow, which feels really nice. Super nice. So I'm going to start reading. I do have to cook and, you know, obviously attend to unwell children, and Patty's got a friend over for a sleepover. Like, I have responsibilities, but we're going to sit while we can, and I'm going to start this book. Now, I'd like to say right from the outset that what I've read on the back and what I've heard about this novel is that it's kind of a contemporary, you know, novel about a woman who doesn't have a shit together. How old is she? I mean, she sounds young. She drinks too much. She sleeps with too many people, you know. And that is not my kind of book. I don't enjoy stories about that at all. The last book I read like that, what was that called? Jessie 2? Is that who wrote it? Anyway, I'll put it here. And that was much loved by a lot of people, but for me, it just wasn't in my line. It was, yeah, I don't know. Those kind of books don't provide me with the depth that I like. Does that sound completely pretentious? It's just, yeah, it's not my thing. What I am interested about, though, is the sort of nod to climate change, to disaster. She works as an emergency dispatch operator, which puts her in front of a lot of, you know, environmental disasters like floods and fires across the country, and sort of, you know, how Mother Earth is talking to us through those disasters. So I just, that's the part that I'm really excited about, and want to feel the depth in that area. And but I just wanted to point that out at the start before those things irk me, or I could change my mind, or I could, you know, really enjoy that process, the contemporary girl without her shit together sort of stuff. Okay, look, there's the ramble before I begin. Can you see that beautiful sun? Oh, it's so nice. So I'm going to spend the morning, I'm going to go get a cuppa and start this, and I'll let you know my initial thoughts once I get into it. Yeah, exciting. Okay, so from when we last spoke until now, which was about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, I have made bacon and egg burgers, half cleaned my kitchen, half kind of organised my fridge, and stoked a fire and did some IT work for my children. So we're there. Let's actually start this book. Let's actually read the first page, shall we? Oh God, I was supposed to have a day of easy reading. Yeah, right. I should have known that was a ridiculous idea. Okay, let's try. Oh, that's a good first line. I like that. This writing might be okay. So this is like, the first part's called Heat. I'm holding that really well for you. And there's like a few little pages, and it was really captivating. It was about how you don't know if she got bitten by the sea snake. She's in Sydney Harbour floating, and then there's a sea snake and there's a storm, and it's like this really intense few pages. If you know me, you know that I don't like short little bits of fiction, but that sucked me in and gave me this huge sense of place and anxiety and excitement and fear. My God, that was awesome. Okay, just recording my thoughts along the way. finished the chapter where the man got introduced, the man that stuffed her up, which always comes in. And when I started to read it, I was like, oh God, here we go. I have to go through this process of, you know, being a woman, being in a bad place in her life because a man treated her badly. I know that's a reality. That's not it's just, it seems to come up all the time in these kind of novels. And so I was just bracing myself for the chapter once a man's name appeared, but it was really good. It was really good. The way that she's writing this is cutthroat in terms of, you know, factual, this and this that's happening. But at the same time, I'm really entrenched in it. Like, I really feel to be a part of the story that she's telling me. And that the way that she ended that chapter was kind of talking to me. So let me find it, because I read it twice because I was like, what's happening? So she's telling me the story, and there's this line: as a child, it always seemed to me that part of the pleasure of reading a book was the freedom the reader had to imagine a person or a place in any way they chose. But I am selfish. I do not want you to imagine freely. I want you to be able to hear his voice as I did then, his voice and nobody else's. Like this, the way that this narrator is telling me this story is with such intensity, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I just feel very, very connected very quickly. I'm on page 39. I'm very connected very quickly. And I don't normally get connected at all to these types of characters. The way that she explained her job at the call centre and her need to disconnect from the calls and from the actual problems was really well done. Yeah, I'm enjoying this writing a lot. Anyway, we're only at the start, but it's surprising me because I was bracing myself for that, you know, sweary, contemporary language, short, sharp sentences, and this is none of that. None of that. Thank goodness. Okay, as you can see, I've snuggled down on the couch now. I've got my blanket on. I'm ready to really engage. I just fed the child, so let's see whether I can knock over a good chunk. I'll see you when I've done that. Unexpected excursions out. He's coughing. I'm 64 pages in, and I'm in the middle of cooking dinner, so I will let you know where I get up to tonight. I am drawn to this book and I'm really enjoying reading it, which is surprising for the both of us, but very exciting. I've had a problem, if you've watched some of my vlogs that aren't Miles Franklin related, I've had a problem with the endings of books, and they seem to start out so great and then the endings crash down for me, so I'll reserve my full judgment until the end. But the journey so far has been really enjoyable and it's really drawing me in. I'm really enjoying this writing too. Okay, I'll let you know how I get on tonight. I've made it to the next part, which is flood. So that was heat, now we're in flood. I think that's the background of this girl's, you know, where she's been. And what I expected with the contemporary my life's a mess, you know, I drink too much situation was just not played out at all like I've read before and disliked before. This was perfect. The writing was amazing. We've talked about that. So I'm just really happy. It's kind of given me this depth of character. It's shown me the background of where she's come from with her mum, what she feels there, this guy, there's other things that went on there, and was a really amazing depth and amazingly written, not cliche, not like anything I've seen before. I just really, really enjoyed it. So I'm very, very connected to this character, though I don't know her name. I don't know if I've been told her name. Isn't that terrible? I don't know whether I've been told her name. If I have, I don't know what it is. But that doesn't mean I'm not connected to her, because I really am. It just means I don't know her name. If I come across it, I'll let you know, but it's not important. Here I am talking about how connected I am to this character, and if I've seen her name, I don't remember it. Oh God. That might be a result of the day that I've had. Okay. I'm continuing to read. I'll let you know how far I get tonight. So I read to music or, like ambient sound, or I read listening to the birds. Can you hear what I'm listening to tonight when I'm reading? That's a mixture of some kid playing a video game and talking on the screen about it, and football. I just tried to put on my reading music and it was just like this clash of noise. This is the result of it being freezing where I live, so we're all huddled around the fire. God, let's hope Madeline Watts can drown out the football. Okay, so yeah, I'm in my really attractive, spotty, some sort of animal print pajama. Anyway, I'm reading through it. I moved into the next section. I thought, okay, well, we've done the background stuff and now we're moving on with this story. Not to be the case. We're still back in the backstory of how she came to be. We're going back to the childhood. We're talking about her being promiscuous. And while it's well written, I'm ready to move on. Like, I'm just really ready to kind of, move into this, we understand the trauma and all the stuff. Now we need to see that kind of growth in the character rather than just sitting there reflecting on old stuff. That's what I want. Might be different to what you want with the book. Maybe you enjoy this background story. But yeah, I'm not seeing at the moment the difference between the first and the second parts, and I was hoping that perhaps, we were moving forward, but not to be. I'm only a little bit into the second part, but still, I just turned the next page to the next chapter, and it was, when I saw a reptile exhibit when I was 4 or whatever it was. I was like, come on. I want to know about her now. I want to know about, I don't know. I want to know about her now. Whatever her name is. Okay. Just letting you know my thoughts. My baby's still coughing. Poor little man. This has happened a couple of times too. The flashbacks are the links are quite, is it tenuous? Is that the word I'm looking for? She just is sitting in this lounge room of her ex-boyfriend with his new girlfriend, and they're talking about stuff that went down and whatever. And then she flashes back to remember watching a girl on a bus on the way to Paris, sobbing and not knowing what to do about it. And then we flip back to her being in the lounge room with the new girlfriend. I just get, it's happened a couple of times where it's like, okay, why is that thrown in there? And I don't know whether it's just trying to be clever or tricky, or we're just following this woman's mind as it skips all over the place. But I think maybe it needs to serve a bit more of a purpose in those cases. I just read that and thought, this has happened again. Still loving it. Just trying to record my thoughts as I go through. And you know what? You're the only ones I have to talk to. They're watching the football, so thanks for listening. Hi, I'm updating you in here because my husband talks really loudly on the phone and that's all I can hear in the house. So we're out here in the cottage. Yes. I have visitors coming to stay tonight. People, my goddaughter and her beautiful sister, and my mum's coming to stay for a few days. So I'm just so excited. It's Monday. I can't remember the last time I updated you. I am on page 183 of the Inland Sea, so I've only got a little bit to go. It's a fast read. I had lots of excitement at the start, didn't I? And that's kind of going. But I think it's not the book's fault. It's because of the type of reader that I am. So if you've been around a while, you know I don't like short stories. And the reason I don't like short stories is because I like to invest in the plot line that's brought to me and the characters and things. And then they just seem to go away. And that makes me sad because I want to know more. This book is kind of written in these, I don't know if there's a technical word for it, but in these kind of short, sharp chapters where we explore a different idea that this girl, who I don't know her name, is thinking about. And that ties in with a lot of themes that run through the book. You know, she's an operator on 000, and so she has a notebook and writes down all these ideas, and it's kind of this collection of all of her ideas. The problem I have is that the one plot point that's pulling me through the book is about a man and about the love interest. And at the start it was okay, but it's become, it's become the one central theme. And in between that one central theme and her interactions with him, and, remembering about the relationship and her worth and all that sort of stuff, in between that is random thoughts. And not random thoughts, but, nothing's like well fleshed out. It kind of, those chapters you read or the short stories you read, and it's kind of got that cliffhangery kind of, I'm trying to explain, like the ending, it kind of leaves you there and you've got to think about it. That seems to happen a lot. That's exhausting for me. So, whereas what I'm investing in, whereas the one consistent thing through is kind of this guy messing her up. And I know, we were all there in our 20s. God, I mean, the amount of men that messed me up, let me tell you. But I don't know, it's not interesting to me, that narrative. And I wish it could be more about her uncovering and delayering and working out her purpose without having to learn lessons from a man. But that's my own, personal dream for every woman, right? Especially every woman in her 20s. The thing that's not being recognised for me is this kind of environmental impact stuff, which I was really looking forward to. Every now and then it throws in about this explorer Oxley going to find the inland sea, or believing there was an inland sea and that some rivers ran backwards. I don't know if that's kind of meant to be there to, I don't know. Is that meant to be there to say that we're moving backwards in our life, that we're not moving forward? I don't know. I don't really know what it's there for. It's kind of these, when you're having a conversation with someone who's really intelligent and really cool, that's what I feel like's happening here. I'm not cool enough for this book, or I'm not intelligent enough. I don't know. But it's kind of leaving everything up to me, and I get that, but it's not the reading experience that I enjoy. Yeah. So my level of enjoyment, I don't think, is about the book and the writing. Her writing's great. It really is. My level of enjoyment is lower because it's not the style of storytelling that I enjoy. That's what I wanted to say, and I've just gone on a 5-minute rant about that. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's absolutely not at a point where I would consider DNFing or anything like that. Like I want to go on this process, and I want to read more, but I understand now that there's not going to be a story, like a continual story, and that I might get to the end of this book and it be all up in the air. I understand that now. Yeah. So that's where we're at. Yeah. I want to make sure I've clearly said that this is kind of about my preference as a reader. And this isn't what I prefer to read. Okay. Have I clearly said that? Okay. So yeah, I have this kind of window before everyone arrives, and I'm going to take that opportunity and try and read this before that happens, because once they get here, that's done. Imagine if I could finish it before they got here. That would be positive. What is going to hold me back is the fact that I really, really need a nap. Yeah, I had too much scotch last night. Did I tell you that? Yeah, we had no kids, so we went out and had some scotch and had some dinner, and it was really nice. But obviously it's not good for your body, and obviously it makes you tired, and here we are. Anyway, I'm going to go. Anyway, that's my update, my rambly update. I'll let you know when I finish. Hi everyone, it's been a long time since we've chatted. It's been a long time since I've picked up this book, but I'm doing it this afternoon. I've had a big week. I've had a big week of energy and people here, and it's been wonderful. It's just, it takes a lot of energy from me. I'm a projector. I'm into human design. That means anything to anybody, but as a projector, I take a lot in, and I need time to regroup and get my energy back. So that's what I plan to do this afternoon. So my plan, I'm going to do what I desire this afternoon, and what I desire is to finish this book, which I have this much to go, and post this vlog so I can share this with you all. That's the plan. I've just opened it up and read a couple of pages, and I'm like, oh God, can I do it? It's okay. I'm not going to DNF yet. I've got 50 pages to go, I think, so it'll fly by. It's just short, sharp pieces of information, and nothing's flowing for me at all, and that's frustrating me. But I think I've spoken to you about that before. One thing I do want to make mention of, I think, and something that I kind of can see, I don't know if this is, you know, when you kind of have theories about why books are written in certain ways, but you don't really know, it's just your interpretation of it. Like, unless you speak to the author, and that's just never going to happen, is it? Which is such a shame sometimes. This woman, whatever her name is, she does the 000, the emergency call answering, and it's kind of, she answers and then passes it on to the police or the ambulance or the fire brigade, and then she's made mention a few times that she never really knows the outcome. So she is the first response, and someone says, oh my God, I'm bleeding, or, you know, I've been stabbed or something, you know, horrific. And then she just has to pass it on, and she never gets closure on that call. She never really knows what happens to that person. And sometimes the calls are quite intense, and she just has to pass it on and then move on to the next one. I'm wondering whether that's why this writing is like it is. It's short and sharp, and nothing kind of is, there's no full narrative to anything, in my opinion. And I'm wondering whether that's reflecting this idea that the 000 calls, that you kind of just hear the start of it, or just start to get involved and then you get cut off. I don't know. This could be a random theory that doesn't make sense to the author or to anybody else that reads this book, but I'm trying to think about this book in maybe ways that it was intended to be thought about, rather than what I enjoy. Does that make sense? So I can kind of appreciate it in lots of different ways, because right now I'm just kind of like, I'm not pulled to pick it back up again, and I'm not enjoying the read, because I really believe that it's not going to satisfy me, and for me as a reader to be satisfied, it takes that flow and that narrative and that sort of conclusion. But that could be the journey that I'm supposed to go on. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how I go. But my intention is to finish it. But let's do an example. Here, I'll put you down. Because what I just read in this chapter, it started out with her drinking on a bench with her boyfriend. Oh, well, he's not her boyfriend, whatever he is. And then it moves to about Patrick White's great loves, because the boyfriend likes Patrick White. And then it talks about things that she's written down about Chinese scholars. So that's on one page. And then it talks about them having a conversation about her not being plain and always wanting somebody interesting to talk to her. And then it talks about Patrick White slipping over in the mud and a bit of a quote from him about some, things, his relationship with God. And then it talks about them going to a bar and her seeing a woman who's stealing other people's drinks and then leaves out the back door. And then we move to, in 1755, the city of Lisbon was destroyed. So then it's going to talk to me about something about Portugal. So that is within that many pages. And I'm just like, my head's spinning. Like, I'm like, okay, well, where do I keep my attention? Where do I focus? Because there's just so much going on. And I kind of get to the end of these chapters and go, okay, well, try and find the common thread that maybe I think I've missed. So, yeah, that's my experience with this book. And that's sort of been, for me, it's gotten worse. This sort of jumping around, unfocused stuff has gotten worse as the book's gotten on. So let's continue on with this, because I just read the rest of it. She gets pulled when they're walking home from the pub. This woman grabs her arm, and the woman from the pub grabs her arm and starts to abuse her and talks about the color of her hair being like fire, I guess. And then after that, And then after that, it talks, there are many notable dead seas of the interior. That's the start of the next paragraph, and it runs through some that are in America and Africa. And then there's a sex scene. And after they've had sex, in his very last interview with the television crew from the ABC, Patrick White was asked, how important is love to life? So we have a Patrick White excerpt again. And then, I would like you to know that when I die, I would not mind going out in the bath. Then we move to water. I'm trying to think about what that was all about. So then I get here and I go, okay, what do all those things have in common, and what was all of that information given to me for, and what did I miss? And then I rub my face, and then I take a deep breath, and then I start the next chapter. I'll take this experience on for myself, and then I'll let you know when I finish it. It won't be long, unless the head rubbing and the confusion takes over. Okay, we did it. And, all of my fears were realised that nothing is realised. I guess this is a book about a woman who feels like she has no control over her life. I guess the inland sea and that Oxley expedition stuff relates to the idea that something so, so vibrant and full of life can be taken away, like the inland sea apparently was in Australia. It could also relate to something within you that you're searching for, I guess. The climate stuff and the emergency stuff kind of speaks to the idea that nothing is permanent and that things can be taken away and tragedies happen all the time, constantly. And this life is really out of our control. And then this woman, who we don't know her name, is feeling lost in all of that and self-destructs in all of that, because being a woman is hard. And being a woman means being fucked over by men, I guess. I don't know. It's all of those thoughts, but nothing for me that's conclusive. This writing's great. It's the way that this story was told that I have a problem with, that doesn't gel with me and gel with my reading. And I've spoken about that, so we all know where I'm at. I would give this 2 stars. So now let's rank it on my Miles Franklin ranking list. I have to find my little inland sea thing to put up there. Oh no! What's that? Oh, here we go. Oh, that's a different cover. Okay. There's a number of different covers. I do love this cover design. Who's that by? Joe Walker. I do love that. Okay, well this is the inland sea. And this is my listings. So it's definitely behind these guys. But then we need to come down to here. We've got Stone Sky Gold Mountain and the animals in that country. I DNF'd this. I'm going to put the inland sea in between these two, because I liked Stone Sky Gold Mountain more than I liked this book. So we'll just move it down. I'll put it over here. I'll just move it down. Hang on. Okay, so we still have this kind of gap here, and these are my bottom 3, these are my top 4. So I hope that I very clearly got across in this vlog that that book was just not my reading style. I can definitely appreciate what was going on, but it just doesn't gel with me and how I read and how I think. That's all. Okay, that's it. I'm going to leave you now. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to watch something mindless that I don't have to think about. That might be a good idea. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay.